What are your worst experiences with a teacher or with your favorite teacher? And what are your worst experiences with a teacher that wasn't your favorite? I remember quite vividly mine. I was in third grade, and that was the grade where I met my bad teacher. Her name was Miss Chavez. And I was sitting there eating my lunch one day with my normal friends. And we're sitting there and we're just eating, I think it was mashed potatoes. I know it was mashed potatoes because I will reveal the details in a second. But we're eating mashed potatoes. That's the only thing I remember, and chocolate milk. And then we could have been eating other stuff, but that is all I remember that we were eating. And we're sitting there, and my friend, whose name was Wyatt, got up and said, "Man, I do not want these mashed potatoes." And take note that I, before this time, thought that this specific teacher had it out for me because it was like almost anything that I did, she was always getting on to me. So I'm sitting there, and Wyatt says, "I don't want my mashed potatoes." And I was like, okay. And one of the other kids looks at me and said, "Zane, it would be hilarious if you would get your chocolate milk and you were to pour it into his mashed potatoes." And I said, "You know what? That would be hilarious." So, got my chocolate milk, poured the chocolate milk into the mashed potatoes. And Wyatt gets back after saying he didn't want his mashed potatoes. He was like, blah, blah, blah. Haha, this is funny. He laughs at it. And this teacher walks by and says, "Who poured that chocolate milk into the mashed potatoes?" And he said, "Zane did." And I got a referral for pouring chocolate milk into this kid. He didn't want his mashed potatoes. I would have cleaned it up if they would have asked me. I would have done whatever. He didn't want his mashed potatoes. And this teacher who had it out for me, she got me in trouble. And I don't really have a not favorite teacher, but that would be my not favorite teacher if I had to choose one. Secondly, my favorite teacher. This is second grade. Her name was Miss Reynolds. And Miss Reynolds had a way of always making me feel good. And she had me in a place where I wanted to learn. She had me in a place where I was excited to go to class because every day she always made me feel good about myself. And I may not have been the smartest kid in the class. I may not have had it all figured out, but it's like I went in there every single day. And if I couldn't do math, which I'm terrible at, if I couldn't do English, if I couldn't grasp this concept, she always would let me know and say, "It's okay. You can try again." And it was always, if I fail, that's okay. But you can get up and you can try it again. And almost without anything, I always got it. Just because she believed in me. And it helped to know that there was someone there that believed in me and knew that they were going to look out for me no matter what. But I guess that's my experience with my favorite and my not